7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello. Hello. Is anybody there? Got 2 people waiting or watching or doing something. Good evening. What was that? Somebody share me out? I believe that's what happened. Let's see. Who is the brave soul? Oh, that was just a notification to let me know that I am live. Ah, damn. Ain't that nice? Thank you, YouTube, for letting me know that I'm live. I never would have known if you didn't tell me. Good evening and welcome to Live with Uncle David. Now, don't everybody speak at once. Maybe if I share myself out, let's see if that'll work. Hey, Cindy, I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for coming through. It is definitely good to have you here. How you been feeling? I hope all is well. So how you been, Cindy? I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. You know, we did an interview with Vern's Junk Closet, and I don't know if she said it on the interview or if I heard her say it in one of her lives or something, but out of sight is out of mind. And the longer you stay out of sight, the less you'll be on people's mind. So here I am again, trying to become more consistent. I know I need to get some videos. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're doing okay. That's good. Hope you're doing well health-wise as well. Yeah, but I'm here. You know, it's been kind of rough. You know, I don't know. Been trying to find some balance and trying to get back in the swing of things because I almost didn't go live tonight. I had to talk myself into doing this. You know, I really did. I'm like, man, you said you're going live. You told everybody Tuesday that you're going to be live Thursday. So it's time for you to honor your word. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Well, I had a topic, but I didn't get around to getting, to posting it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll wait until maybe next Tuesday. Now, hopefully I'll be going live Saturday. That's the plan. I'm not sure that that's going to happen because we do have a thing going on Saturday. Hey, Charlene, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, we are going to be having a chicken and fish fry on Saturday for my son's barbershop. He's going to be he is opening a barbershop. It is called Be Legendary Cuts, if you are in the DMV and you'll need a haircut, stick around, or follow us on social media. We will let you know when things are open. The grand opening is scheduled right now for August 28th. That's the plan. That's what they said. We've been working on it. Um, so yeah, I've been working on a project with my oldest son, and then we leave there, and then we go over to the shop and put in some work over there. Well, he does most of the work because he is the man. I have to admit, we say it all the time that he is very talented. I mean, he can build a house. I'm doing well, Charlene. Thank you so much. He could build your house. He could build your car. He could build your office. You need a tattoo. You need a haircut. Now he's into making T-shirts and stuff. So yeah, he is. I mean, and it's like, you've heard this saying that everything they touch turns to gold. And I mean, this dude, man, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't mean to brag, but it is what it is. My kids are amazing. All three of them, in their own unique way. You have three different personalities, but the one thing that they have in common is their undying love for each other, and they bond, that is, I don't know. I can't describe it. They've been close. The older two, they've been close since day one, and then the youngest one came along, and they just scooped him up under their wing, and they look out for each other. They have their differences, and they have things happen, but they work it out. They work it out, and that I love having them around when they're all together. Um, it's funny, I sit back and what's going on with the camera and this thing. Okay, here I am. I'm back. Anna, what's going on, little mama? How you doing? Yeah, but I love seeing them together. They get together, and I sit back and I just watch and listen, and I hear the stories. You hear the stories that you didn't hear when they were little. The things that they did and their little adventures and stuff like that. So it's funny, but they get along, which is a great thing. I couldn't ask for three better kids. Yeah, they're not kids anymore. They're actually grown. Two of them have kids of their own. Thank you, Anna. I will pass that information on to them. Yeah, but they are truly amazing. Um, they are talented, and I just enjoy it. It lets me and Auntie know that we did something right. Because and they look out for us, and you know I was talking to Auntie yesterday, and she was like, have you learned anything, hanging out with our oldest son? His name is Javon. And she's like, have you learned anything hanging out with him? And I'm like, yeah. I one thing I learned is I don't want to work. I really don't. But you know I've become in tune with my Picasso because I'm actually painting. I can't remember the last time I did some kind of physical labor. I'm like, this is crazy. But actually, it's not even about, she's like, well, you get a nice little piece of change. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not so much about that. It is being able to spend time with my son and just watch him do what he does. He is good at building and taking stuff apart and putting it back together. And you know you I watch the thought process, and it's amazing to see it, when it starts, and you can see his mind turning, and then all of a sudden he's boom, 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 and I'm gonna do this, and this is what I want to do, and I want to do this, and I want to do, and everything that he says, the way he wants it done, the way he does it. It just ta-da! I'll be like, man, this is just so cool, and I'm like, this is, he's and then Cutie Chewy, she's the mama. She thinks she's my mama. She thinks she's Auntie's mama. Of course, she thinks she's her brother's mother. She just, she's got her own thing going. She's doing her thing. I'm proud of her as well. And of course, D. Allen, he's the smart one of the bunch. He's figured out that he's not going to work for anybody. That he's going to work for himself, or have people work for him, or you know make money while he sleep. If you can make money while you're asleep, then you are doing something. Which means he could sleep all day long and make money. Where they do that at? And it's not, the fact that it's legal, and he's a YouTube guru, and he came to me yesterday, and he's got this idea. He pitched it, and I'm like, dang, that's really not a bad idea. So y'all be on the lookout. I cannot say anything because if I let the cat out the bag, but I'm telling y'all, it's something big. It's something new. It's gonna be a trend. So y'all make sure y'all I'll let you know. Trust me when I tell you. He gonna be all over the place. And it's he's a prime example of what I say when I say, you're never too old to learn and you're never too young to teach. Because I am still learning, things. I watch and listen and pay attention, you know, like with the editing. I've gotten a whole lot better. Like I said, I remember when I first started editing, I was editing from my phone, and it was okay, but it wasn't. But I couldn't get down on myself because I really didn't know anything about editing. At first I used to get frustrated. I'm like, man, I'm putting this out, and this ain't. But then I had to understand that I had no idea what I was doing. It's not like I'd been editing all my life, and or studying it, and I still was screwing it up. I had no idea. Before YouTube, I all I looked at was, hey, Sonia Whitey, how you doing? Hey, you know what, Anna? You're absolutely right. I ain't trying to, and you know what? See, I was cool with everything you were saying to that last sentence. I didn't need a reminder. that I'm not as young as I used to be, and I'm cool with that. That's good, Sonia. We're doing good over here as well. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming through. I'm doing all right. I ain't complaining. I'm glad to be here. You know, as my daddy used to say, uh, another day above ground is a good day. So every chance I get to be above ground and participate in this thing called life, you know, and be a willing participant, you know, what more could I ask for? You know, I just keep showing up until I don't show up or can't show up. I won't know because once I'm gone, I'm gone. Unless somebody knows something that I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They say that there's another world, and really, really, Anna, that's your story and you're sticking to it. We love you too, Sonia. That's your story and you're sticking to it. All right, misbehaving and innocently behaving. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know, I'm still learning. I enjoy editing. You know, I get to throw in little stuff, and it gets my creative juices. You know, it works a part of the brain that needs to be worked. Um, as far as my imagination and things like that. You know, it's fun. It's it can be, like I said, it can be frustrating, but you do what you got to do, or you do it until you get it right. And it's fun, man. It's like, hey, I'm really editing stuff. Like I said, when I first started watching YouTube, it was just watching YouTube. It was, I watch videos, and I never thought that I would be, sitting somewhere editing a video, or even doing a video, or for that matter, having my own channel and going live. I still think about my first live. That was crazy. I was like, dang, I'm actually live, and it was. I was scared. I was sweating. If you all could have seen my legs, they were shaking. I mean, I was a nervous wreck, and it took me a while. I still get nervous, when I go live, but I've learned how to control it, how to, calm myself down when I need to be. Sometimes I can get a little, you know, Auntie says I talk a lot. But if you're sitting here and you don't want dead air, and if somebody comes in and I'm just sitting here like this. Although there are probably some people that will watch me just sit here and do this, or make some noise. Psst, 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 whoa. Psst, psst. Yeah, I mean, I found out on watching YouTube that people will watch just about anything. They watch people eat. They watch people chew ice. They watch people. There was this one lady she put a sponge in the bucket, and a sponge in a bucket of water, and she wring that out, and people were watching it. I mean, as if it was some kind of big spectacle. I looked at her views, and I'm like, people actually watch this. I mean, you'd be surprised at the things people, enjoy watching. You know, things that we may find weird, aren't so weird to them. So everybody, and we may watch things that people consider weird, but we feel like it's like, you know, like watching somebody eat. Thank you, Charlene. I will pass that along to the businessman and to my kids, and they're all, to some degree are successful. And I like that. But again, this YouTube thing, man, it's something else. You can learn so much. My son calls it University of YouTube or YouTube University, one of those. But you can learn so much, and you can make money off of YouTube. It requires a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. My son, he has like 3 channels. So he's always, coming up with something, and it's, you get what you put into it. So if you don't put nothing in, you get nothing out. That's like picking up a cup of water, or a cup, thinking you're going to get something to drink. You ain't pouring nothing in it. Well, what you going to get out? Nothing. Because that's what you put in there. Nothing. So that's just how that is. But getting back to this YouTube thing, man, it is absolutely amazing. We've met some amazing people. Before COVID, there were plans of going this place and that place. I know the last thing before COVID that we were supposed to do was go on a boat ride in Baltimore, and a bunch of content creators and maybe some supporters. We had planned. Plus, it was my birthday weekend, so we had planned to do all this stuff, and then COVID hit. And that kind of put a monkey wrench in everybody's thinking. Who'd have thought that a year later, a year and some change later, that we'd still be going through this? I thought maybe it'll be about a couple of few months, and then we'll be back to normal, and everything will open back up, and boom, here we go. Nope, that didn't happen. But I tell anybody, if you have not developed a skill or come up with something now, and it doesn't have to be YouTube, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be social media. I mean, just come up with something, a business plan or something. If you have not, during this pandemic, come up with something, and even if you have to go back to work, something that will give you another stream of income, then you've wasted time. And that is something that you will never be able to get back. You can lose your money and get your money back, because people have lost everything and gotten their money back, and become more successful than they were before they lost everything. You got a car and it's gone, but you get another one. You may end up getting your house foreclosed, or you get evicted from an apartment, but you manage to get that back. And but time, you can't get it back. So you've wasted all of that time. I mean, it's been, like I said, over a year and some change. And I hear people saying, man, this COVID thing messed me up. Looking at it the wrong way. If you're talking about in terms of financial gain or skill development or something, yeah, it has been stressful for some. We've people have lost loved ones. Um, like my family, we contracted it, but we survived it. So yeah, it has been stressful, and in those terms, yeah. But if you didn't spend time reading something or watching something or learning something, I mean, if you spent the whole time complaining about COVID, you have missed the big picture. Because sometimes, you know, it things happen, to open up a door. That the door closed where, you know, some people were working a job that they hated anyway. And so then COVID hit, and now they're trying to get back to that very job that they hate, when there's always, we all have a purpose. And if they took the time to try to figure out their purpose and figure out what their gift is and take it and run with it. There's a reason why sometimes people lose their job, and they don't, they're so busy trying to get back to that job that they miss out on the point that that is an opportunity. Only thing I didn't do that I should have, it's got a PPP loan like the rest of the scammers. Yeah, well, you did the right thing, Anna, because they coming for folks. I was listening to this attorney. He was talking about how you got people that live in the projects who said that they got the PPP loan, and they started a business, and it wasn't necessarily people that got big money. You had people that got a reasonable amount of money, but the fact that they didn't start a business, or they don't have a business, or there's no trace of them ever having a business, you know they decided that they wanted to, that's what they were going to do, and they probably figured that they wouldn't get caught. Plain and simple. That is the anthem of every criminal. I won't get caught. Yeah, well, the prisons are full of folks that didn't get caught or wouldn't get caught. It's like the drug addict that said, "I won't get hooked." They hit crack for the, I won't, no, I won't get hooked. 20 years later, they still look chasing that first high. That's what they doing. And that's what you're always doing. You're always chasing that first high, and you'll never get it. It'll never come back, because that first high is when you introduce that stuff to your body, and your body is like, whoa, what is this? And it throws everything off whack, and you got this wonderful feeling. I remember the first time I smoked weed, and I was like, man, hey, what is this? But after a while, that got old. I'm like, that was fun while it lasted. Drinking, that was fun while it lasted. Now, the only other thing that I did was I smoked cigarettes, but that um hey, oh, excuse me. What is your new name? Oh, I haven't figured it out yet. I told you we're doing a we're still in negotiations, and still going through the files, and through everything to figure out, if you're gonna be off a troll status. We're still working on that. That's give us a couple of days, and we'll figure it out. I don't know. I can't guarantee that. You you won't be still on troll status. I don't know. Depends on how you act. It's up to you. See, there you go. That's my girl. How you doing, Vern? Thank you for coming through. I greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to do this and make sure I get it right. Just talking about mess. But yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes until I had a heart attack back in 2010. And Cutie Chewy said, "Well, Dad, I think you need to quit. And if you don't quit, if I ever see you with a..." Oh, thank you for that super duper super sticker. Thanks, Vern. I appreciate it. Thank you, sissy. She's like, "Dad, if I catch you with another cigarette, we're gonna have a problem." So I was like, man, then the doctor, it's not like I didn't know the cigarettes were bad for me anyway. But I actually went cold turkey. I think I was in the hospital for about 3 days or so. Excuse me. And I came home and I haven't had a cigarette since. I was like, you know, and I tell people, well, how'd you do it? I just did it. And I think that had I not gotten sick, well, actually, I had a heart attack. If I hadn't, had that heart attack, I would probably still be, not probably, I definitely would still be smoking cigarettes. So I didn't quit because I wanted to. I quit because I had to. Now, the hardest thing about quitting for me was just the actual motion of picking up a cigarette. Picking it up, after I ate, um, you know, my dad, you knew when he was going to use the bathroom because he would grab a cigarette because he didn't smoke. So you knew what was going on there. But for me, and then, when I get in the car, and I don't know what it was about driving. Maybe I thought it was cool or something, but just driving, I had to have a cigarette. And, there were moments in between where, but once I got used to not picking it up, and I remember I had a job where I was driving from Maryland to Richmond. And this was along the time when it was new to me, um, not smoking. And so I'm driving down the highway and I see the people and during rush hour traffic, nobody's moving. So you get to see everything that's going on around you, what people are doing. And I would see people smoking and it just looked like they would just cigarettes just tasted so good. It's almost like they were teasing me, like, you can't smoke. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. But the further along I got, the easier it became. I don't remember going through withdrawals or fiending for a cigarette. I don't remember that. Now, every now and then I'll tease Auntie, say, "Hey, give me a cigarette," and she'd be like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." But my desire for smoking is long gone. Um, the thing now I need to work on is getting back to walking and you know my diet. Because I listened to this guy the other day and he was like, "Don't wait until you get sick to try to get help to try to eat healthy and be healthy. You know, eat healthy while you're healthy. That will that way you will continue to be healthy. You know, do start making healthy choices and creating healthy habits. People call it a diet. I try to stay away from calling it a diet. I like to say lifestyle change or making healthy choices. Um, especially healthy food choices. As you saw, I was drinking a soda, so that's not exactly the most healthy. However, I do have water, and I'm trying to get better with it. Matter of fact, I have two more of these in the refrigerator. I know I won't be drinking the rest of them tonight because I don't want to be up going to the bathroom all night because I have to get up early in the morning and head out. So yeah, I won't be drinking a lot of water now. It'll be 9 o'clock before I know it. So yeah, that's not going to work out. But I'm trying to get up to. Thank you for sharing me out, Aunt Maddie. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah, but trying to do better. Um, it's not easy by a long shot. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's simple, very simple. The process is simple. Just don't eat crazy food. Drink water, eat vegetables, fruits and vegetables, exercise. It all sounds simple, but if you don't have it here, then you're defeating the purpose because you have to develop a healthy mindset. And I think that's my problem. I have to be more consistent. I have to be more dedicated. I have to be more focused. These are the things that I know that I have to do. I have to stop procrastinating, and just do stuff. Say if I say I'm going to do it, then do it. Stop hemming and hawing and BSing around. Just do it. And so I think tomorrow is my last day on this project. So I'll be getting back to some sense of my normalcy, um, which is getting up early in the morning and going walking. I like to do it as early as possible, like when when it first becomes daylight, because I know now here in August it is hot. These are what they call the dog days of August, and it gets really hot around here in the DMV in August. It's hot and muggy, and you're like, man, what is really going on here? So that's the plan. So I can get back in. I started to lose some pounds, but I think I probably picked up a few because I reverted back to some of the bad choices. And I was beating myself up about it, and I'm like, you know what? This is the choice that you made. Accept it, own it, and fix it. There's no need to be sitting around sulking and you know just fix it. Fix it. That's what that would be my advice to anybody that is trying something new, working on a project, just trying to get a business started. Just fix it. If it goes wrong, which it will do, you know, you're gonna make mistakes. Things are gonna happen. That's just life. But you have to own it, accept it, own it, and fix it. Because once you accept it, it's yours, and you can do whatever you want with it. Now, if you decide you want to hold on to it and nurse it, then fine. But please understand that when you do that, you're doing more harm and you're setting yourself back. That's time that you're losing trying to achieve your goal. And as I said earlier, you don't get that back. It ain't coming back. I don't care. if you spend 2 minutes doing something that's not conducive to what you're trying to accomplish, that's 2 minutes that you will not get back. So it is important that we practice time management. Um, and I'm saying these things, and these are things that I need to work on as well. I'm not saying them because I've mastered it, and you know, nah, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me as well. I have to practice what I preach. If I'm going to say it, then I have to do it. If you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. That's the bottom line. That's how that goes. That's how it's supposed to be. And if you don't, you know, then just understand that whatever it is you're trying to accomplish won't happen. It just ain't. So my plan was to do 30 minutes. I've done almost 45. So, with that said, I'm going to get out of here so I can get ready to go to bed. Well, no, not go to bed, but and we'll go back here and sit and talk to Auntie and D. Allen. We sit back there and laugh and gossip like we tend to do sometimes. Gee, fam. Oh, you made it just in the nick of time, bro. I'm closing up shop. I was fitting to go. Now I'll probably go back to an hour. Excuse me. Next week. I'm not sure if I'll be going live on Saturday because my schedule is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Like I said, we have a function on Saturday, and so I'm not sure, but I will definitely be back on Tuesday, uh, and I'll be doing an hour. In fact, I have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. Well, I already know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll post that later on. But I thank everybody for coming through. Vern, again, thank you for that super duper super sticker. Charlene, thank you. Anna, appreciate it. Sonia Waddy, Charlene, Cindy, and G Fam. I thank you all for coming through. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And as I like to say, I love you like a fat kid loves cake. I'll see you all again. And until then, remember to be happy on purpose and know that I believe in you. Believe in you too. Peace.